Hello, welcome one and all, my musical minions, to the Forgotten OneCast. I am your host, CJP, and today we're going to be talking about composing covers. And with me, I have the lovely and talented Desiree Wright, Lady Desiree, on YouTube, Twitch, and 1,000 other places. It seams like Miss
Kick
Wright.
now, actually.
Oh,
I've abandoned Twitch. Yes. Hello. I need to fix I think in my like the link tree, I think I still have Twitch on there. I need to fix that.
And I've got it in the banner, so.
Oh yeah, it's all good.
Well, again, I wanted to thank you for coming on. I know we had you on the Legion meme stream a couple weeks ago, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a blast. That was a lot of fun.
So yeah, we kind of just wanted to, get, a little bit more into your background, what you do and how you go about you composing your composers. But first things first, we got to pay the working man. So I do have a quick word from our sponsor.
Nuts.
Paul Pilkington.
All
right.
Are you team coffee or are you team green tea? Try coffeebrandcoffee.com and enjoy 10% off your order with promo code CJP. Coffee Brand Coffee, great coffee, no gimmicks. I had to do that as soon as he put up the affiliate program. That was the first thought that came to my mind as an ad, was that stupid Vine of that anime. But but you remember it, so
yeah,
some of the best commercials that you remember over the days. But we do have a couple of people in chat. Masha Tulsa, he's the bass player I work with. We're in a band together. We do all 80s covers, which is a lot of fun.
Nice.
Mr. Paul Hadouken. And I can't answer that question for you, Paul. I don't know if you did take drugs or not. I'm not there. I'm kind of hoping you did, because I'm hoping you'll share. All right. Well, thank you again, Desiree, for coming on. We kind of wanted to start, your musical background. It's always interesting to see when people started playing and what their inspiration to become a musician was, because everybody's story is just so wildly different. And so I love hearing their background to see what was their impetus for getting into this excruciatingly loving and sometimes very painful.
So, my father was a concert pianist. He specialized in Gershwin and extremely talented, and was a music history and piano professor at Florida State University, which actually I happen to be wearing a FSU shirt today. So we grew up in a really, really musical household. My older sister was actually taking piano lessons, and my parents said I just kept trying to learn her pieces and wanted to take lessons myself. And I was pretty young. I was 4, about to turn 5. But they decided to go ahead and put me in lessons anyway. And my dad actually never taught me. I always had a separate piano teacher, which I actually think was a good thing, because I didn't, and he was actually extremely hands-off, extremely. He did not push me. I guess he said he saw so many of his own colleagues really push their kids too hard, and then they pushed him away from music. So he was very aware of that. And so ever so often I'd be practicing in the other room and he'd be like, "That's a D flat," but I mean, he really didn't help unless I asked for it. And anyway, so I started taking piano lessons really young. I loved it. And I either wanted to be a writer or I wanted to go into music. Those are my two career paths. And about my sophomore year of high school, I decided like, okay, I really got to buckle down with piano because, you know, to audition for music school, I mean, depending on the school, but I knew I wanted to go to Florida State because we were still living in Tallahassee, Florida. You know, it's actually a pretty intense music program over there. So I started actually taking lessons. I switched lessons to a piano professor at FSU while I was in high school to kind of prepare myself. And so I decided to go the music route, and glad I did. And so at FSU, I was really kind of just taking like really general lots of classes. At one point, I was thinking about majoring in music history because I really do love music history. But actually, you had to take German at FSU for that. And I took a semester of German, and it was so hard. Like, it was crazy hard. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't know if I could, because you had to take a lot of it. And it wasn't just that, but that definitely didn't help. And so I took actually just a lot of humanities courses because I really like all the arts. So and I think it's helpful when you're an artist to have an understanding of history and how other, literature and other art impacted all the areas. And music was usually last to the party, like when there was a movement, like in literature, and then it influenced the art and the visual arts, and then it influenced music last. And I don't know. Anyway, I'm very fascinated by all that. So that was kind of like what my college experience was like. It was pretty rigorous though at FSU. And honestly, I felt pretty burnt out by the end. Like, I still loved it. I'm so glad I did it. But like at the end, I was pretty burnt out. And like my mom has a doctorate, and, my dad. And so they were like, are you sure you don't want to get a master's? And I'm just like, I really just don't right now. Like, I don't. And I never did. And I don't regret it, but I do regret, well, okay. So I'll talk about some of my regrets in a minute, but, so anyway, so that was my college experience. I started teaching piano lessons like actually my freshman year at Florida State, and I've been teaching ever since then. So I've been teaching. That's been like my side gig since I was 18. And I got married really young. And so I kind of went the whole like family route and like teaching piano lessons. Well, when I was about 25, I actually was playing a Zelda piece. It was Kakariko Village.
Mm.
And I just started messing around with the chords. And I was like, you know what? And like it's I know it's so cliche, but it's like this song, I felt so like inspired. It's like the song just sort of came to me. And I wrote my first song, like just like song with words. And I actually really fell in love with that process. So up until then, I hadn't really done a whole lot of writing. Growing up, I was always the pianist in church, and I would get bored with like playing the hymns just as is. So sometimes like for prelude music, I would kind of, change it up a little bit and do little extra things. So I kind of had already dabbled in that, but I had never really done a whole lot of writing, like just out of thin air. So it's actually that Zelda piece that kind of started me on that path. So I started doing a lot of writing and writing some songs, and then it kind of, I take responsibility for this now, but at the time I felt like I wasn't really getting the encouragement that I needed in my, family life to feel like that was an avenue worth pursuing. So I'm divorced now, but it was my ex-husband. So I felt like I didn't really have that, and it is really hard as a musician because you feel like, yeah, it is really scary out there. You have a lot of competition. And I was really vulnerable that time because, you never know. It's like, my stuff good? I don't know. Is it worth it to like go get this new program and invest in all of these VSTs, And so, and I'm not going to like put all the blame on him because now that I'm older, I've realized like, you have to take responsibility of your own actions. And if I really wanted to, I could have done it. But I was really, really influenced by that. And so I kind of just sort of like shelf stuff. I didn't really pursue it. And then it wasn't actually until my father passed away, which was about, it'll be nearly 10 years ago. I actually had a really hard time with music after he passed away because that was our connection. We both were the pianists in the family. And our family. I have two other sisters, and they're amazing singers, but I was always like the pianist, and he was the pianist, and so he's the person I could talk to about all that. So it was really, really hard when he passed away, and I actually avoided music a lot. Aside from teaching piano lessons, I really didn't play like at all. And then I was actually playing the game Destiny, the video game Destiny,
Right.
and was just really struck by this piece that I heard it, playing, and I really fell in love with it, and I wanted to find the music for it so I could play it myself, and I couldn't find the music. I went online, couldn't find it, so I thought, you know what, I'll go ahead and just listen to it by ear, come up with my own arrangement, and I'll post it on YouTube in case anybody else is looking for it, and they can find it and play it. And I did, and then somebody posted it to the Destiny Reddit page, and it blew up. And that's kind of what like reignited this whole. It's just so weird how like a little thing can like change your life.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. And so so that's what so basically I kind of got sucked into the Destiny community, and I started doing arrangements for other streamers and YouTubers or charity events, and like, hey, you know, like let's feature this piano arrangement of this popular tune. I ended up going out to Bungie a couple times, becoming friends with the composition team over there, and it just, and then I started streaming Destiny on Twitch. And then once it kind of got opened up to creative, you know, you could do more than just video games. I went ahead and started streaming live piano show. And so now, like when I started off, it was kind of more YouTube focused, but it's definitely become more streaming focused over the years. And so, yeah, so basically now my life is streaming, where I do piano arrangements of requests and chat. They're all live. They change every time. They're not like, there's sometimes I play some pieces very similarly each time, but like I'm kind of coming up with my own little embellishments as I go. And then I've done like composition for some indie games, and that I'm really hoping to do a whole lot more, like go more in that area as I age. I'm very paranoid that I get too old for streaming. No one's gonna want to watch me. But yeah. So sorry if that was too much, but that's
no, that's why we want to talk. We want to know, you know, more about, you know, what, because musicians are a different breed than a lot of people, I think, because we have to go through so much of the slog of practice and rejection and all that, you know, we're a little bit different than a lot of people when it's kind of mentality, because we're used to going through the crucible of rejection and fire. So I always like to hear that. But I did have one quick question about the church playing. Did you once play Inagata Davida?
No, I don't think so. Anna, what is it?
From The Simpsons, when he changed out the music for the church, and it was Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly, which is 17 minutes long. By the end of it, the organ just like just passed out.
I've never played that.
Okay. Although it does have a really great keyboard solo in it, somewhere within, I think, the 8th or 9th minute of it. But I do love the story behind that. Is the guy who wrote it? It's supposed to be called In the Garden of Eden, but he was a little high when he wrote it. He was wrong, and that's how it got named that.
Oh wow. Nice.
Well, awesome. Well, yeah. So kind of just wanted to transition over into, you know, kind of going through your process when it comes to, you know, composing your covers of these, you know, different anime and video game, you know, music. Because, you know, some people they go to find the MIDI file and then work. Which is what I do a lot, just because with working with the GoldenEye sound fonts, it just makes it easier to have a base template to work from. Although when I was doing the watch themes, there's not a lot of good MIDI for some of those more obscure Bond movies, so I had to do those by ear. Like, what chord are they playing here? Oh, that's just weird. It didn't sound right here, but it sounds right there. So
yeah,
kind of, you know, for the most part, I'll work on a MIDI file as a base, and then, you know, build from there. So I was just kind of curious about your process.
I definitely prefer if I have music in front of me, sheet music to look at. So a lot of times I'm looking at lead sheets. If I'm not looking at a lead sheet, I'm treating the music as a lead sheet. So I'm just looking at the melody, and then I'm kind of determining what the chords are. And then I kind of come up with my own, you know, how to play that. I definitely have stronger eyes than I do ears I used to really beat myself up over that. Like, I wish I could be just someone who could just have perfect pitch and be like, oh, it's definitely this. I mean, obviously, you have to train yourself so far when you study this in college. So, I mean, I've gotten a lot better, and I can tell that I'm still getting better, progressively better. But I don't beat myself up over that anymore, because I'm like, there's no point. Whatever. We all have our strengths. I've got plenty of my own different strengths. So,
I was definitely much more of a ear listener than a sight reader.
yeah. So I give a lot of credit to my piano teacher growing up, that she was really good with chords. And so that's just so helpful for pianists. We always kind of I feel like we have a little bit of upper hand, I feel like, over a lot of instrumentalists, because we're so used to playing chords and just like the structure and I don't know. Anyway, so it's, so that's always been really helpful. But so if I'm making something up on the spot, like as of live performance, I'm pretty forgiving, because I feel like, well, it's live. So I'm not really hard on myself. It's kind of however I'm inspired in that moment to play it. So it could be different on a different day, in a different mood, but, if I'm actually going to, like, okay, I really want to come up with a good arrangement, I want to have the sheet music, I'm going to put it up on YouTube, then I'm a lot more particular about how to go about it.
Yes, Tulsa, I know that college teaches sight reading. I went to college. I took sight reading. I just wasn't that great at it. They also did. I don't know if your teachers did this, but mine, when we would do chord progressions, they would play the 2 chords and then never resolve it, because you had to guess what the resolution was.
Mm-hmm.
And to my ear, that just drove me insane. You just
Yeah.
left that phrase uncompleted, and you're like, can you please play the last chord?
I know.
Drove me nuts in college. I mean, I'm thankful for it, but good Lord.
Yes.
Even I had to take piano in college, and I'm a percussion, but we had to take every instrument had to take at least the
class piano. Yeah.
Because it's the best instrument to learn theory on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is really, the pianist always had an upper hand in the music theory classes, for sure. So I mean, it's definitely a good instrument to start to learn as a base to branch off of. I've had a lot of piano students who start the piano, then they go learn another instrument, but it's good to have it as a base, for sure.
I don't think they know how to teach that, though.
I had ear training. I had to take ear training. So they would like play like, different intervals, like, okay, like, what's that? Okay, it's a perfect fourth, or like, they would play something and you'd have to like notate what it was. So we had to take, I think, was it 4 years? I think it was 4 years of it. I think it was all 4 years. But
yeah, they did that for us as well.
Mm-hmm.
But awesome. And so when it comes to the covers that you choose, is it just a specific genre that you like to go into, or do you have a more wide range of covers that you choose from?
Well, I've definitely sort of like to stay in the geek culture realm. So like one of my little slogans I've had for years is, geeky music for geeky hearts. So, but I've definitely branched off. So a lot of times it's like what people want to hear in the stream, honestly. Like sometimes we'll do 90. I mean, I love the 90s music. That's like my era. So a lot of times we'll do 90s music or some 80s songs, or, but all the different genres. We'll just do hits too. It doesn't have to be geek culture music, but I definitely like geek culture music. So I started out, I mean, when the first time I streamed, I was terrified at how I was going to fill up an hour worth of a stream, because I was like, I don't know if I have an hour's worth of music. Right. So I just kind of had like the most, popular, Mario and Zelda, the very most popular, well-known stuff. And then over the years, because I've been doing it so long, it's just grown from people's request. So, yeah, there's a really good resource. It's called VG Lead Sheets. So V as in Victor, so VG for video game, vgleadsheets.com. It's free to use. And the guy that started is actually a music streamer over on Twitch, really nice guy. But that's a great resource for me. So a lot of times I've gotten stuff off of there and then just kind of, come up with it.
Very cool. So what is your favorite game then?
My favorite game favorite game music, or like favorite game to play?
I'd say, well, we can go with both, but because they could be two very different answers.
Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, I love all the Final Fantasy music, and I never played Final Fantasy. So I watched my ex played 10. So I watched him play 10, but I actually never played it myself. So I've never played Final Fantasy, but I love the music from Final Fantasy. So good. And I feel like I know a lot of the plot lines and stuff now. So I feel like invested in a way. But the Final Fantasy music is super good. And I really like the early Final Fantasy music with Nubio Uematsu. Is that how you say it? I'm never like quite sure.
Yeah.
Can I like pause? I'm getting like an extremely important phone call. I'm so sorry.
No. You can dip for how long you need to. So
okay. Let me just dip for just a few minutes. I'll be right back.
No, go right ahead.
I'll
show off your website and all that. So
okay. All right. Okay.
Thanks. That's all right. Yeah. Life happens and there's things that you've got to do. So what I did want to show is her YouTube channel. So let me pull up the correct one here. So this is Desiree's YouTube channel, and of course, you can Desiree Wright music, and she's got links to be able to buy her music off Bandcamp. Go to a lot of other things that you hear, but yeah, you can just get just a sense of the live streams that she posts here after she does the stuff on Kick, and then definitely subscribe to her, follow her. It's just fantastic music, especially just to put on in the background. To listen to, just keep something going while you're talking. So, definitely check that out. Yes, Paul. If you want a link, Paul, let me know and I'll send it to you, just in case she needs to dip, because we still got another half hour show or so of show to go, and I'm kind of running out of ideas. If I do it on my own, because. Music. Although, good news. And as opposed to all the stuff we're talking about piano, I did see the news that Mike Portnoy is returning to Dream Theater, and I am ecstatic about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mike Mangini is a great drummer, but he didn't contribute a lot to the writing, which Portnoy did. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring back to that band, because they can, unfortunately for me, they kind of been feeling stale a little bit flat, definitely not the Metropolis Part 1 era that I absolutely love with Dream Theater. So I am looking forward to seeing what they're going to do there. So let's see. Programming note, next week we're going to have a indie spotlight. There is a musician that I have met and we'll call him my travels, named Bjorn Larkinson. We call him BJ, but he's put out some experimental music on his channel, and we're going to have him on next week, do a little spotlight on the stuff that he's doing individually. Then the next week we're going to have Sean Cav on. He's a gamer and bass player. So we're gonna do a slap of the bass edition of the Forgotten OneCast. So let me shoot you a link there, Mr. Paul Hadouken. Where did you go? There you are. All right, link is sent, sir. And then on Tuesday, Halloween next week. We're going to have a little special, not a live stream per se, but it'll be a live experience that we're going to do a release of Castlevania 1, the NES soundtrack. And where did my picture go? Oh, there you are. Now you're hiding. And I'll show you what that looks like. So we're going to be, Oh, she's back.
I'm back. I'm back, but I do have to go. But I just wanted to tell you, chat, I'm so sorry. I'm kind of in the midst of a bit of a family crisis right now, and so I wasn't sure if this would happen on stream. But I do have to run. Everything's gonna be fine, but I do have to go. But I'm so sorry. I would love to come back and be able to talk more, but I hope that was at least somewhat. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're perfectly fine. Life comes at you fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it.
That's true. But thank you anyway. I'm so sorry, y'all.
No. Again, follow Desiree Wright on Lady Desiree Piano on YouTube. What is your kick?
Lady Desiree.
Lady Desiree.
Uh-huh.
Follow her kick and on Twitter. So definitely follow her. Give her some love, and we'll definitely talk again.
Okay, great. I
You
hope
have
so.
a wonderful evening.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Good night, Desiree. Oh, Clinton, you missed all the fun. So yeah, we're gonna bring Paul in. He's gonna hop on for a little bit. So yeah, on what I was gonna show you for the 31st at 7 p.m. on my channel here, Forgotten One Music. We're gonna do a new GoldenEye CJP, but this is the entire Castlevania soundtrack. So this is the first Castlevania from 1987 by Konami. Kinuyo Yamashita is the composer for this one. So we're gonna do from the prologue all the way to the game over, and it's gonna have a little bit of video on. So just join us for that special Halloween night edition of the channel. So we're gonna have some fun with that. I'm really looking forward to that because it's been a lot of fun to compose these covers. Because again, I love the Castlevania series. It's always been a fantastic one. Oh, you're good, Clinton. You're good. You're all good. Paul should be here in a minute, but yeah. So that was Desiree. She was such a darling on the Lee Bean stream, and she's such a great pianist, and being able to see the geek culture be able to get that classical sound with it. So yeah, she was a lot of fun to work with there, and hopefully we'll be able to have her on again soon. But other than that, yeah, I've been doing a lot of the NES stuff, and I kind of want to keep doing that because I love the GoldenEye sound fonts, and they just are a lot of fun to work with, and they're so versatile. It's like the most versatile one I worked with. He's in his car.
Howdy. Yeah, I'm in the middle of working and Ubering right now, and last minute I'm like, fuck it. How is it? Is everything sound cool? I got this little Bluetooth thing.
Sound good to me anyway. You have to
awesome
chat, so but we'll find out. But we are still live on Rumble, so if you ever want to check us out on Rumble, we do the continuous live stream. So it's the same thing. Forgotten One Music over there. Get some more follows over there because I've earned 3 cents in the last month.
Nice.
Which is
I think I got
YouTube.
Nice. I think I got like $4 from like random like $1. If you stream like in the middle of the night when it's like daytime, I guess over and like across the sea, random people like from China and India will just come in and give you $1 on Rumble. Like stream at like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, Central Standard Time, and you'll get some just random people just say, and they'll say random things too. They'll be like, "Good for you." Like, thanks, cool, thanks.
Maybe hopefully they're like, "Hi, dude, can you open up cloth? Nice pics of your bubs." Yeah, did you hear about Portnoy coming back to Dream Theater?
Yes, although I'm not a huge Dream Theater fan, my buddies always were. My guitar player in my first band is a big Dream Theater fan. I can't really get into the whole like almost opera-esque of the vocals. The music is fantastic, but as soon as the dude starts singing, I'm like, I'm out. I don't know why. I gotta try again.
Yeah, you should. Well, and for me, I like that thing. He's a great drummer. He's a fantastic drummer. I mean, don't get me wrong, but Portnoy just had a different feel. Plus, he was also helping write the music.
Right.
So you could feel that it was a lot more meshed into it. Mike was just kind of, filling in.
Hell yeah.
But
well, I hope that sparks some more creativity. I love that like a lot of bands are like kind of making a return, and yeah.
Winger put out a new album this year. Winger.
Hilarious.
The 80s hair band. And it's really good. So good.
Nice. I was gonna say, speaking of progressive bands, I saw last week I saw Les Claypool's side project, the Frog Brigade.
I haven't heard that.
And yeah, it's. I think they only have like one album and then one live album. He's got so many different side projects.
Yeah.
But this one specifically was the Frog Brigade, and what was interesting is who he had playing with him. He's already been playing with Sean Lennon,
Mhm.
John Lennon's kid,
Yeah.
with their project, The Delirium. But
Just-
he was touring. I love the Delirium. I honestly almost put it just up there, like just as good as Primus. Like I
Mhm.
can't decide which project is better. But Sean was there playing guitar for the Brigade, and on keyboard was Roger Waters' kid. I forgot what his real name is, but so he has two sons of famous musicians, Sean Lennon and whatever Waters. Was it? I think it's Roger Waters, his kid. And yeah, it was a great show.
Waters' kid was playing. I know David Gilmour's daughter's playing.
Yeah, he was playing keyboard.
Okay.
It was interesting. I took some video. It's funny. I went to this. I never heard any. I'm a big Primus fan. I'm not a huge fan of like all his side projects, but it was real awesome to see. And yeah, they played one Delirium song, which was pretty cool. And but yeah, man, anytime Les Claypool starts slapping the bass, you mentioned earlier, you're gonna have a slap bass episode coming up. Woo! Talk about the king of slap bass for me, man. Les Claypool. Oh, he's my favorite.
Yeah, I loved watching him on the South Park 25th anniversary of the Red Rocks concert.
Yes. Oh, and I'm so mad right now because he's doing another Red Rocks thing just like that, but with Maynard from Tool and his two side projects, A Perfect Circle and Pussifer.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. That'd be awesome.
Dude, they sold out immediately. There's 2 days at Red Rocks, and they're all on stage together, which is awesome because Tim Alexander, the bass player or not bass player, sorry, the drummer of Primus, Tim Alexander, after he left Primus, did a bunch of stuff with Maynard. He drummed for the first album of A Perfect Circle, but I think they switched drummers halfway and got like Josh Freese. I think he's a pretty well known drummer, right? And then he also did a lot of drumming for his other side project, Pussifer. And to know that they're all going to be on stage together, like doing whatever, this just sounds amazing. And it's for like Maynard's 60th birthday or something like that. And
Yes, that'd be a great show to go to.
I know. I forget. They call it a specific tour, like Sasana or something like that. I forget. But yeah, look it up. Pussifer, Perfect Circle, Primus. They're touring right now. Not too many dates. I think mostly in the Southwest region, California up to Colorado, around there. But I wish they would come near Chicago. I'd love to just go to Colorado and see them at Red Rocks because that'd be killer. But yeah, that Primus South Park thing was amazing. I died laughing.
There was I don't know if you've ever heard of Government Mule.
Government Mule?
Yeah, they're a
I've heard of them.
They're an offshoot of the Allman Brothers Band.
Okay.
Because Warren Haynes, the guitar player and the singer and primary songwriter, played with the Allman Brothers bands for decades.
Uh-huh.
Especially, I think he came in not long after Dickie Betts had passed.
Okay.
But so it's a Southern rock power trio. But in around, I think 2002, 2003, their bass player passed away. And so instead of disbanding, what he did is they're going to, or what he did was he invited any bass player out there that wanted to come record a song for tribute. And they did it. It ended up being 2 LPs called The Deep End. And Les Claypool did one.
Ooh.
And what was funny is they did a concert in New Orleans, and every bass player that wanted to had recorded the song was invited to come in. And Les Claypool, they put him on last, and the only reason they did was because Primus was playing across town. He finished up his show, ran across town to join him on the last song of this one. What helped him was he was running a little bit behind, but Warren Haynes forgot the lyrics to Sweet Leaf by Ozzy Osbourne because Jason Newsted was playing with Ozzy at the time. And so you can watch him on the DVD. It cracked me up so much because he starts just noodling on guitar for no reason. And he's playing a little solo and doing all this and kind of keeps looking to the side of the stage. And what he had done was he'd had his roadie go find someone who could print off the lyrics. Never. So at one point, about 10 minutes into this, he turns to his drummer, Matt Adams, and goes, "Matt, play something." He's like, "What? Anything. We're stalling." You play a drum solo. And then when they and it looks like it was just, planned, because then all of a sudden, the roadie hops on stage, gives them the lyrics, and then they go right into Sweet Leaf.
Hilarious.
I mean, that's it. That's a Spinal Tap moment right there.
That is real life Spinal Tap. Too
What's up,
funny.
Scrambles? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Scrambles was in our last live stream. He actually witnessed a bunch. It's funny. I just released a video of a compilation of clips from my last live stream with my band, and unlike Lady Desiree, who does a fine job performing on stream and very classy, me and my band are the opposite end of that, where we're just a bunch of idiots that know how to play music. And so I put a 15-minute video of just like, we improvise the dumbest songs. We have a song called Daddy's House that we keep playing over and over. And it's a thing now. And
he was asking, are we going to Daddy's house?
See? We played it 3 times the last stream. It's a thing now, yeah. I'm almost scared that no one's gonna take us seriously as a band anymore. Like, I'm gonna come up with real songs that are meaningful or mean something to me. People are like, no, play fucking Daddy's House. It might be a cat.
Have you ever heard of a band in Australia called TISM?
No.
They all wear like white luchador masks, so you don't know who they are. But they have their song titles are some of the funniest I've ever heard in my life.
Oh man,
the song that got them fame was one that I think was on Newgrounds first, and then of course hit YouTube when YouTube became a thing. It's called "Everyone Else Has Had More Sex Than Me," and it's animated, so it's just a rabbit with like the number 1 on his chest, and like every rabbit behind him has like multiple digits. And of course, the bombshell bunny has like triple digits. Except for the keyboardist when they're doing the solo, he's got 0, which makes sense, keyboardist. But they have one like ode to John Bonham's Coke roadie. Thou shalt not Britney Spears.
Oh man,
I may be a
weird
next Tuesday, but at least I'm not a can see you next Tuesday.
Oh my god, that's great, man. Comedy music like Weird Al. Parody stuff and just like the internet, like the start of the internet had some of the most goofiest music known to man. Do you remember Group X?
Yes. God, that's forever.
Oh my god, the classics. They did the Mario one where they just mouthed all the and they have a bass and a drummer and then the guy singing. And then all those other great songs that they did, like 55. I don't know if you remember that one. Oh my god, what was the other one?
Psycho Stick.
Psycho Stick was another one where with the beer is good. That was early internet as well. Oh man. I just want bang bang bang. I don't want to know your name. I just want bang bang bang. Dude, Group X.
Do you remember Ninja Sex Party?
Ninja Sex Party. Oh,
Game Grumps.
Gino. Yeah, my buddy Gino over at the Melee Games and Side Scrollers community. He's big on Ninja Sex Party. I was going to do. I may actually end up in the future do a show called Book Club, where we just pick form of media, an album, a movie, a TV show, and then we all do like a panel type show and just specifically talk about that album or that whatever. And I'm like, anybody's got suggestions for an album that we should all listen to and then talk about? And my buddy Gino was like, we gotta fucking listen to Ninja Sex Party.
I remember my ex brother-in-law introduced me to them and the song was "Everybody Shut Up, I Have an Erection."
Amazing. Love it.
So yeah, I miss that comedy music. You just don't really see
Yeah.
that anymore.
Yeah, so if you go on my channel right now, I just uploaded it today. We just improvise. It comes out of us right there in the moment, and the video is called "Improvised Idiocracy," and right off the bat, man, my drummer not only am I stupid and dumb and goofy, but these guys that I play in a band with are all there. I grew up with them. They're actually like 5 years younger than me. They're friends of a younger brother of a friend of mine. So I've known these guys forever, and we're all just so stupid and just goofy that like. And what's great is during this video, we just one of our buddies who's a big Blink-182 fan, he popped in the chat, and we're like, "Oh shit, Steve's here in the chat." And my bassist goes, "This one goes out to Steve," and starts playing this pop punk riff. I start figuring it out. This is all in the video. And then we start going, all right, it sounded pretty good. And then out of nowhere, just lyrics came out of my mouth. And I'm like, I like you a lot. And my bandmates came, they had microphones too, kicked right in. And they're like, I started harmonizing and shit. I'm like, oh my God. And it made me, and in the video, I'm dying laughing so hard. I'm like, I can't. My ribs were hurting because like my sides cramped up. I had to like raise my arms for. And
I remember almost killing my bass player. The first time I did this, we're doing a cover of Mickey. Oh Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey Mickey. And in the lyrics, she says, "Any way you want it, I'll take it like a man." And so when that part came up, I just went, "I'll take it like a man."
Yeah.
And, at the end of it, I start doing actual Mickey Mouse.
Oh no.
I usually will end it with I didn't say she was crazy, Doc. I said she was fucking goofy.
Oh no. Oh man, yeah. I love
the most fun times during rehearsal when something stupid happens.
I know. This is literally the reason why I was like, we need to live stream our rehearsals because so much happens in between. Like, not only is it cool to see, things ticking and like, oh, watch them, put it together a song. That's cool. But honestly, 90% of the stream is just us being like, just dumb, playing songs like Daddy's House. And all this other shit, and then we're goofing off, and then for like 2 seconds at a time, we're like, all right, let's play a real song now. But it's so fun, man. I love every moment of it, and it's funny because music, it's like, it's almost like having a superpower. I think I mentioned it before. It's like, oh, we got the superpower, and with great power comes great responsibility. And I am not being responsible at all with my superpower.
Nope. we're
making songs like
we're Superman making burritos with our heat vision at this point.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do just the dumbest, goofiest shit with this superpower. It's the best. I love it.
Awesome. Well, real quick, while we had a little extra time, I figured we'd do a live premiere of a track. That's going to be coming up for Electronic Music 2 Digital Boogaloo. So
nice.
Thoughts while we're here. So let me share my screen. I got to share the entire screen because you can't share a window with audio now. StreamYards is dumb. I don't know why they made that change, but here we go. This is track 12 from the upcoming album. There's going to be 2 more after this, and then we'll do a full live album premiere. But this is called Monitor. So, enjoy.
Enjoy. Awesome. Is that with the GoldenEye sound fonts or no?
That's just standard VSTs that I've been using.
Right on, right on. It sounded like maybe you were a little inspired from all the GoldenEye.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. And plus all the John Carpenter music I've been listening to over the years, and Jan Han.
I was gonna say, recently, actually last night or Tuesday night, Melee Games did a little movie premiere thing with some, I don't know, they'd use some voodoo magic to make sure, like, to not Discord, basically kind of like a movie night on Discord. So, they watched Halloween 3, and I haven't really watched many of the Halloween movies or John Carpenter movies really at all, but I watched your, talking about John Carpenter as a musician and all that. And I watched Halloween 3 with everyone that night, and I really paid attention to the music, and I was like, oh, like everything kind of like clicked now that now that I knew that he did it, where it came from, how it inspired like future generations. Honestly, after watching that, I should hit up some sort of studio and try to be hired as a composer for some of these horror music, because they lacking these days.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think I could
Much atmosphere since it's
right.
it's all just a wash. There's no definitive motifs or melodies really going on much anymore. I unfortunately we're kind of like where movies were back in the late 60s, early 70s, where it was all just pop music and stuff like that, and then John Williams comes out with Star Wars, and then everybody and their dogs doing orchestral soundtracks, which was fantastic because I love those. But now they've gotten back to that, just using stand-in music instead of actually having composers come in and do things. And unfortunately, I don't think there's just a lot of composers like that anymore. They just haven't really gotten up that kind of training, because it's so much easier to make music now than then.
I would bet most studios are just using AI programs, just like everyone is with the art these days. People forget music got ravaged by the AI codes years ago. Like people have been making AI music for years now. That's why music's been just declining for the last 10 years. And now it caught up with visual art. People are freaking out. It's like it's been here, man. You just haven't seen it. You've been hearing it.
Oh, I forgot about the Wicked country style. We slowed it down and made it swing. So it's like, crack that whip. Yeah, the pass a step. Step on crack. Break your mama's back. We figured we'd use that as a punishment song if people weren't dancing. Of course, I haven't watched an orchestra lately. Of course, are there still orchestras around is the question. I mean, because again, you don't see many people going through the rigors of that kind of training as much anymore.
No, yeah, for sure. Everyone is. It was amazing to hear.
For $250,
what was that?
Bad. A 7-string Ibanez for $250. That's not bad.
Nice, yeah. Oh man, I am not a gear nut. Like I stick with I still have the very first guitar I ever played on, and 2 or 3 other guitars. I've used the same pedal, a Boss GT6 for like my whole life. I've just upgraded like last year to the newest model. Yeah, man, I'm like a MacGyver of just general musician. I'm like, if I could get signal into the computer, I'll let the computer do the rest. I don't give a fuck how I get it there, but Yep.
Well, I mean, I still play I've got a Frankenstrat that I use mainly, and And it's funny because I got these pickups from a former bandmate years ago. They're all vintage 80s DiMarzios. And one of those pickups is worth at least 4 times what the guitar itself is, because it's just a Squire Strat.
Wow.
So one of those pickups is well worth more than that guitar. But I mean, it does the thing that I need it to do. Is the tone. I'm not like, well, I don't need to know why I need to spend $2,000 on a high end Fender when I'm going to put these pickups in it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I still play a PVT 60,
Nice.
which is a big, heavy guitar.
Nice.
Than Les Paul, very honestly.
I've been a big fan of the very light guitars. I've always wanted the Joe Satriani Ibanez series, those really thin body ones. Oh, I've always dreamed of having that. Those shits are so light, you can just toss it around like a skinny girl.
Oh yeah, my bass player picked up a Schecter C4. It's a bass guitar. It's beautiful. It's purple flame maple, purple. It's a neck through, purple pickups. So I said, yeah, that's
Nice.
Flaming Moe. Looks like the secret ingredient in a Flaming Moe, which was children's cough syrup, grape cough syrup.
That's hilarious.
Because I remember that episode vividly, because that was also the one that had Aerosmith in it.
Yeah, my main guitar is a Schecter Diamond Series. DJ.
I love DJ.
Howdy, buddy.
Awesome.
Well, yes, DJ. I am Desiree Wright, as the thumbnail shows.
Gosh, changed, lady.
I have subscribed to Paul Hadouken instead, not Lady. No.
Did you go to Berkeley and just had to make the transition?
No, but I was gonna say, speaking of I was amazed at all her, professional learning and all that, because I had zero of schooling. I'm completely self-taught, and it's amazing that music, it doesn't discriminate. You could be just as dumb as me and still learn how to play guitar and make music, or you could go through all the. Actually, isn't there like a name for self-taught people, and we don't know proper scales and stuff like that. So our music is it doesn't, we're not tainted by actual. So
there's a term for that other than just self-taught.
Yeah, I forgot what it's.
I'd be what they consider classically trained, because I actually went through the classical programming and all that. So
Right, yeah. But no, it's awesome, man. If anyone out there I don't know whether to start playing music, or I always wanted to play guitar or all that, just do it, because it doesn't take. You don't need all that proper. It just takes one baby step at a time, and then maybe eventually you get to learning properly and all that. But I still
YouTube, as much as I hate what they do algorithm wise, it's still one of the best places to learn songs and things like that. So you can always look up things. Although there was the one thing that really irked me was I was learning Beds Are Burning by Midnight Oil for the band. And there is this one chord that's in it. That's a transition chord, and it's really dissonant. And I could not find any tutorial that had that chord in it until it took me almost a day of looking through every single tutorial that's on YouTube. And I finally found one that had that chord listed in it. And it's just,
that will happen.
Why do you guys
Sometimes you gotta do the deep searches. Sometimes go on Guitar Tab websites you haven't visited in decades.
Well, what's funny to me is because it's a very prominent chord. It's very obvious when they're playing it, and you hear it. It's very dissonant. It doesn't sound like a standard chord, but none of the tutorials I saw until I found this one obscure one that was from 12 years ago. You bastards. Well, we are getting close to the end here. So I figured we'd have one more word from our sponsor. So get ready for the drugs.
The drugs are coming.
I had to make this. I could not. So here's a word from our sponsor.
I love it.
Nuts.
Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Are you team coffee or are you team green tea? Try coffeebrandcoffee.com and enjoy 10% off your order with promo code CJP. Coffee Brand Coffee. Great coffee. No gimmicks.
I don't know why it's just giggle every time I watch it.
I'm team Carl Pilkington, that's for sure.
What's funny is I actually know a guy named Charlie Pilkington.
Ah,
Has that last
Wonder if-
name. I need to show him that commercial and see if he if he understands the reference.
oh my god, that's great.
Again, thank you for Paul for hopping in for a little bit. As I said, Desiree would have been here longer, but family always takes precedence over everything.
For sure. Glad I was able to pull over for a few minutes.
Again, thank you. You're always welcome on anytime you want to be.
Absolutely.
Remember, next week we've got Bjorn Larkinson joining us for a indie music spotlight. Then after that, we'll have Sean Cav, and I'm working on a couple other guests following that. Also, don't forget Halloween night at 7. We're doing the Castlevania full soundtrack release. So other than that, my musical minions, just keep making music. That's all you got to do. Just make music. Good night, everybody.
Peace.